Hey there everyone, and yeah, once again back with Danganronpa, and I usually have all kinds of theories about the class trials about who I think the murderer could be, but in this case I'm completely fucking stumped. I don't know who it is. God damn it, I cursed. Ah well, fuck it. You all know me this way. I'm not monetized anyway, I'm doing this for my entertainment, and I hope for yours as well. As long as you guys are having fun with me, that's all that matters to me. So, I don't know. I mean, it didn't hit me until earlier when we did the investigation and everything, when they spoke about the 16th student, or until Kyoko mentioned it. I was like, wait a minute. I didn't even know there was another student. It's like the game did such a great job of you not noticing it. And even when they spoke about the podium, in the back of my mind I was like, wait a minute, I need to find out about this. And I actually rewatched some stuff and I was like, god damn it, they actually show you the extra podium and you don't even say anything about it or something. It's like, okay. So, I don't know, this could go either way. I literally have no idea who it could be. 'Cause Byakuya is kind of pinning it on Makoto and on Kyoko, so this could be interesting, because even despite his theory, I don't think she did it. She's not the type. I did not see him enter the door. You cannot claim that as the truth. I deny. Whoa, Byakuya and Makoto showed up together. Where the heck have you two been? You just disappeared without a word. We were investigating, of course. How could you not figure that out by this point? Oh, yeah, shit. I forgot we were in the library. Wait, Kyoko's still not here? Makoto's ranked high enough for you guys to go off together? Just the two of you? Oh no, don't get any thoughts. What? Are you jealous?
Hey.
Or are you making up some kind of creepy fantasy for yourself?
What?
Yeah, she could be doing the whole creepy thing. Stop talking and brace yourselves. He'll be here any second. Any second? He could show up at any time. When I imagined what was about to happen, I immediately tensed up and prepared myself. I still don't see Kyoko. Where the hell is she? But we stood there for 5 full minutes waiting for something weird to happen. And then 5 minutes became 10.
Why?
What's going on here? Why isn't Monokuma... Yes, I've got to fuck up something at some point in one of these episodes. You all know this by now. Why hasn't Monokuma shown up yet?
Could it be?
Maybe he died again? Wishful thinking. What should we do? Should we keep waiting here, or... or what?
What?
Jesus! Did I scare you?
Come on.
I demand an explanation. Why did you waste my time and make me wait like that? What? I made you wait? You've got it all backwards. You're the ones making me wait. Huh?
In other words...
I'm waiting for everyone to arrive. We can't start till everyone's here, now can we? Kyoko, she's missing.
Huh?
What are you talking about? Everyone is here. We've all been waiting for you. Sorry, but you're wrong. But I've been waiting 10 minutes now, so it's okay if I punish the one making us all wait, right? If we all agree it's a violation, I'll arrange a punishment right now. If it's me you're waiting for, I'm here. When we heard that voice, we all spun around to look.
Hey.
I'm here, and no rule's been broken. Kyoko! Kyoko, you're still alive? No, that's a ghost! You dumbass. Stop talking. If you want to fight, do it at the class trial. You'll need to save some of the fun for later, right?
What?
But is it okay that there's no particular penalty for being late?
Is that right?
I made it here just fine. What school regulation did I violate? She's got a point. Am I wrong? You're so selfish. So spoiled. You're right, there's no penalty officially, but I bet you'll be sorry later.
Shing!
Now I'll make sure you're sorry later. Anyway, hustle your butts onto the elevator. I'll be just one step ahead of you. When Monokuma was gone, we all rushed up to Kyoko. Kyoko? So you really didn't die?
Indeed.
Of course I didn't die. Thank God, I'm so glad you're okay. Perhaps, but that's not necessarily a good thing for us. Then who's the So, I knew that was Mukuro. So Ikusawa is the one who's dead. But who's the goddamn murderer? This is crazy. Huh? He's right, now I've got to deal with the ghost. Okay, can you just chill out for a second? I told you, stop talking.
Let's go.
Come on, let's just go. Whatever we need to discuss, we can do it during the trial. Without ever looking directly at Kyoko, Byakuya stepped into the elevator. Master, wait for me! You a little weirdo. Good call. Who knows what might happen to us if we take too long.
But...
I'll be happy when this trial is over. One after another, everyone piled into the elevator. But I couldn't help myself. I had to talk to Kyoko before the trial started. Listen, before we get started, I have to ask you. Where have you been this whole time? You used that key of yours to go somewhere, didn't you? So...
Correct.
I went to investigate the second floor of the dorms. Interesting. The second floor?
That's right.
There aren't any monitors or cameras there, so I was able to avoid Monokuma completely. So that's how she stayed out of sight. Clever. Of course, I also missed his announcement because of that.
Whew.
I had no idea a body had been discovered. Then, when did you find out?
So...
Just now. I finished my search and came back down just in time to hear the class trial announcement. I took some time to go over the crime scene first. I can't go to a trial completely uninformed, can I? So that's why you were late.
However...
I'm sorry I kept you all waiting. But if you were on the second floor of the dorms, then that's what the key you found goes to?
Wrong.
Actually, to be precise, not quite.
In other words...
I used Monokuma's secret tool, which can open any lock in the school. What? Huh.
Just a second!
Hey, what are you two doing? Hurry up before we get in trouble with Monokuma.
Makoto.
We can go over all the details after we get through the trial, okay, Makoto? Right now, I just want to focus on surviving our current situation.
It would seem...
Because this is probably the single most crucial moment so far for me. For her? What did she find out? That's a strange way to put it. The class trial is important for everyone, right? So why would she say it's a crucial moment for her?
Goodbye.
Well, if that's all. Seemingly unconcerned, Yoko made her way to the elevator. I'm just overthinking what she said, right? Being the last one left, I stepped into the elevator. Oh my god. And the door slid shut. Another long-ass monologue about the elevator. This time the clunking was loud enough to hurt my ears, and the dread began to consume me once again. I can't imagine ever getting used to the mental pressure that comes with preparing for an execution. In that dusky darkness, no one said a word. We just stood there, silent and still. After an immeasurable period of time, the doors opened without warning. A dazzling light penetrated every depth of my eyes. But it wasn't the illuminating light of hope. It was the blinding light of despair.
I can't wait! I can't wait!
Now it looks like a disco. Is it just me, or am I only now noticing that every time there's a class trial it looks a little bit different? Okay. I've been waiting for this. I feel like it's been forever since we got together like this. Doesn't feel that long ago for me. The time for pointless jokes and jabs has passed.
Thrills!
Let's get on with the show! You little fucking weirdo. And so the curtain opened for the 5th time. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal. So much alliteration. Yeah, me and English languages aren't friends anymore. It's confirmed. A deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly fate. A deadly last trial. Which I am completely not sure what the hell is gonna be happening in this one. It's kind of weird. So, you know, I don't need that. Skills? Do I have anything new? Oh, extraordinary focus. Yeah, sure, let's put that on. Increases the focus gauge by 2. Ah. Yeah, that could be useful. Okay. Finish preparations. Let's go. Last trial, all rise,
Let's
yay!
begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Okay, well, I'll leave the rest up to you.
Well then, let's discuss the specifics of the victim. First, we need to clarify who exactly the unidentified victim is.
It's Kyoko. There's no other explanation.
She's alive and breathing!
But Kyoko's standing right there.
Exactly, thank you.
No, that's a ghost!
Wait, wait.
But she has legs and stuff.
Okay.
Well, that's just because she's like the latest evolution in ghost technology.
What? Okay, yeah, so you're kind of being weird.
There's a limit to how much ridiculousness I can tolerate.
Okay. So I just have to prove that the corpse isn't Kyoko, right?
That's the weirdest thing. Okay, that's kind of the weirdest thing so far that's happened in this game, is proving someone's alive and breathing? Okay.
Then let's compare Kyoko's traits to the traits of the dead body.
Her traits?
One important trait Kyoko has that proves the body doesn't belong to her. She's got gloves on and the body doesn't exactly have it anymore.
I got it! I'm talking about her gloves. They'll give us some insight into the mystery. I'm sure of it.
In that case, I think it would be helpful if someone explained why she actually wears those gloves.
And would you happen to know the answer?
In fact, Monokuma told me. Apparently you have scars on your hands you don't want anyone to see.
Oh, you know, now that I think about it, the corpse wasn't wearing any gloves, right?
No, it wasn't.
They probably just got burnt up in the explosion.
No, I don't think so.
I'm not convinced. The ghost is just trying to fool us all.
Okay. There's no way that corpse was Kyoko. If I can't prove why, we're gonna be stuck here and the case won't move forward. So I don't have any choice but to... They're fake nails.
That Kyoko there is just a ghost.
Impossible.
Okay, then prove it. Prove she's not a ghost.
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
They got burnt up in the explosion.
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion.
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves. Because that corpse is absolutely Kyoko.
This entire discussion is idiotic.
For once, Byakuya, you and I both agree on something. Another body isn't Kyoko's, and I know I can prove it.
That Kyoko there is just a ghost.
Impossible.
There were no gloves.
Okay, then prove it. Prove she's not a ghost.
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
Fake nails and gloves don't exactly
They
go
got
together.
burnt up in the explosion.
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion.
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing...
No, that's wrong. No, There's no way the corpse was wearing gloves. Whoever it was, they were wearing fake nails, remember? I imagine trying to wear gloves over nails like that would have been a pretty big pain.
I mean, I'm not a girly girl, and even I can tell that's not very practical.
Besides, Kyoko wears gloves to hide her hands, right? It'd be pretty weird for someone who's self-conscious about their hands to wear fake nails, don't you think?
Another good point.
Jeez, man, you don't know women, huh? They're complicated like that.
I don't know, Kyoko as a person strikes me as being pretty logical and straightforward in what she wants to do or say, and even in her actions. So, wearing gloves with fake nails, even fingerless gloves, considering she wants to hide her hands through scarring, it wouldn't make a lot of sense.
If anyone doesn't know women, it's you.
Ouch!
Well, Kyoko, any thoughts?
These gloves were custom made to the size of my hands to make sure they don't interfere with my daily life.
Interesting.
If I wore fake nails, the gloves wouldn't fit properly.
Interesting.
Then that's that. The dead body doesn't belong to Kyoko.
Which should have been obvious since she's standing right here.
Yeah.
Okay, so then, who's the real victim? First, we need to figure that out.
Our best identifier is gonna be that tattoo on her hand.
That's the first thing I said. You're the one who's been dragging us around in circles.
Before anything, we have to identify the victim. Everything starts from there. And it's gonna be the tattoo on the hand.
If Kyoko really is still alive, then who died?
There's gotta be some way to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so. The face was scorched beyond recognition. And there wasn't any description in the Monokuma file. Oh, if we can't identify the body...
Then there's nothing else we can do, right?
Nope. There is something. And the one thing that can tell us wasn't the victim's own body. The tattoo on her hand.
If Kyoko really is still alive, then who died?
There's gotta be some way to figure it out. I don't think so. The face was scorched beyond recognition. And there wasn't any description in the Monokuma file.
Controller aim.
Well, if we can't identify the body...
No, that's wrong. There was one clue left behind that we can use to identify the body.
Mm-hmm.
What? For real? If you're lying, you'll die a cruel and unusual death.
Wow.
Cruel and unusual death. This I gotta see.
Wow.
She's just being stupid. Ignore them, Makoto. Tell us what you're talking about.
The key to figuring out who it was is the tattoo on the back of her hand.
Oh, yeah. The design's pretty strange, huh? Is this a dog?
A wolf. Fenrir, actually.
Her master must have made her get it. To be like, you're my bitch.
Wow.
Seriously? They really did something that humiliating?
No comment. I mean...
No, that's not it. The identity of the victim is hidden within that tattoo.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
If you compare the tattoo to other information we have, the victim's identity should become clear. It's Mukuro Ikusaba.
I got it! The Fenrir Mercenary Corps. That's the name of the military group Mukuro Ikusaba belonged to.
Okay, so...
To show that they're a member of the team, each soldier that joins the squad would get a tattoo representing Fenrir somewhere on their body.
Fenrir?
The image that represents Fenrir is a wolf. Thank you.
Now I understand. The representation of Fenrir is a wolf.
Fenrir, the wolf of Ragnarok. It's from Norse mythology. A huge, world-ending wolf beast.
Look at you rocking the Norse myth. But yeah, she's right.
He's the child of the trickster god Loki, and a female giant.
You know, having played stuff like Hellblade and currently playing God of War, the last one, listening to some of the stuff they talk about in there, like whose kids are whose, that's kind of messed up, man.
Man, after all this time, we finally got a glimpse of the literary all-star.
A wolf tattoo. Then that means...
Exactly. The body we found had a tattoo of a wolf, which means that person must have once belonged to Fenrir. So it must have been Mukuro.
What?
Hold on. Isn't she the one that was behind this whole thing?
Mm-mm. I think she's been more like a cohort. Maybe. Like someone who's in the wings if things take too long to happen. If Sakura failed, they could, like, push it along.
You sound surprised, but you're absolutely right. Yes, indeed. The trial this time is to solve the murder of Mukuro Ikusaba.
Are you saying the mastermind is dead? Now we have to have a last trial?
I don't think
No.
so.
It means we were wrong in thinking that Mukuro was the mastermind at all.
For once, I agree with him. Wow, no, that's the second time this episode. What's happening?
But I mean, being the ultimate despair seems like a pretty mastermindy title to me.
No, for me, the ultimate despair just sounds like someone that's made to bash down their hope every single time something happens. So, as a murderer, she could have potentially maybe have gotten away. Maybe.
Maybe we shouldn't have been thinking of her as the ultimate despair in the first
Maybe
place.
the ultimate soldier.
After all, looking at her profile, I didn't see anything that would fit such a description. All it said was that she was the ultimate soldier.
She followed orders.
If I remember correctly, that other information came from
Monokuma.
Kyoko.
Oh,
That's what
Kyoko.
you told Makoto, right?
I forgot about that. God, it sucks getting old.
So that means Kyoko got it wrong?
And who was she? Who was Mukuro Ikusaba? She's been gone this whole time, and when she finally turns up, she gets killed.
Usually when there's a scene where an important character dies, it has a lot more detail.
So you're saying she wasn't an important character?
I don't know, I think there was a lot going on in the background that we all just don't know about. I still think she was more like a trump card if things started to slow down too much. Cause a scene, cause a murder, or maybe just push things along a little more in a direction to get someone to commit a murder.
Which would mean she was the same as us, just another participant.
Then who's the real mastermind?
It must have been the Hope's Peak Academy headmaster after all.
I don't know.
No, the headmaster has nothing to do with it.
But how can we trust that? We already know your information about Mukuro was wrong.
My information was not wrong.
Okay. We're in the middle of a trial right now. Figuring out who killed Mukuro is first and foremost.
I feel like this case is bordering on things about Monokuma being brought to light. And I don't think he's gonna be happy about this trial at all.
Please limit all future prattle, chatter, and chit-chat as much as possible.
Fine. Uncovering the identity of the mastermind will have to wait. But remember this. No matter what happens, we will find out who you really are. I stake my family name on it.
I have officially decided to completely ignore all such attempts at provocation.
You little bastard.
Now then, just so nobody's confused, let me state this one more time for the record. The reason we're having a class trial is because a murder among the students has taken place. Hammer that point straight into your big ol' brains!
What you're saying is that both the victim and the culprit are part of the student body?
Then, one of us killed Mukuro?
I don't know. If Mukuro could easily have hidden in the school, Who's to say there's not another student? Huh. That brings up some interesting thoughts.
Wait, no! There's a chance that there's some mystery 17th person who's been hiding all along!
Nope. There are only 16 students in total that have been taking part in these events.
I don't know about that. Something seems off.
Then, one of us killed Mukuro?
Who did it? Who's the killer this time?
Something's very off about this.
Get a hold of yourself. We've already narrowed down the list of possible suspects.
Yeah, and in Byakuya's brain, that's Makoto and Kyoko.
Huh?
I'm sure you realize who I'm talking about, right, Makoto? Who the evidence points?
I got it!
Sadly.
You've narrowed it down to Kyoko and me, right?
Why do you say that?
Allow me to explain. Just after nighttime last night, I went to the garden, so I can confirm that at that point, there was no dead body there. So, the murder must have taken place after I left the garden. However, Hiro, Toko, Hina, and I were in the gym the entire time.
The gym?
That's right. The four of us were there trying to dismantle Monokuma. The whole time, we were very careful not to go anywhere alone. We even went to the bathroom in pairs. All of which is to say, the four of us all have alibis. The only ones without alibis
Are me and Makoto. That's why you're able to narrow down the list of suspects.
exactly so.
I don't know, I don't think so. So the only suspects now are me and Kyoko. Damn it. I can't let this stand. Somehow I have to clear my name.
I have something I'd like to say regarding the whole alibi thing.
Are you thinking of raising an objection?
Well, before that, I just want to try and get a better idea of what time the murder took place. Doing that might reveal some kind of clue.
Whatever you want. Somebody go ahead and help him out.
Me and Byakuya can both confirm that the body wasn't in the garden at... Well, it was after nighttime for sure. I'd say it must have been around 10 o'clock. So the murder must have happened after 10 p.m.
Then I guess we can say the time frame for the murder was between then and when we found the body? Oh, but what time did we find the body?
It was just before 9.
The
Like
one who
9
saw
o'clock
the body
around there.
first was Toko, right? And she went to go get the pickaxe.
What time was the body discovered? It was 9.
I got it! The body must have been discovered at 9 a.m., since that's when Toko went to get the pickaxe.
Now then, Toko, what time is it? Well, when we left the gym, it was just before 9 o'clock, so it's probably 9 on the dot now. Okay, go get the pickaxe and be back here by 9:01.
He's right. It had to be around then.
So we can be totally sure the murder happened sometime between 10 at night and 9 in the morning.
For me, I was already asleep before nighttime hit, so I don't have an alibi after 10 o'clock. But I'm sure I met up with everyone else before 9 this morning.
We ran into each other in the dining hall, right? That was around... Oh yeah! Right around 7:30. I remember checking right before I went in, so I'm totally sure about it.
Which means from 10 p.m. to 7:30 a.m., you don't have an alibi.
The murder happened between 10 p.m. and 9 a.m. And I don't have an alibi from 10 p.m. until 7:30 a.m. Okay then, it looks like the game has begun. If I can't provide an alibi for that period, then I just have to prove the murder didn't happen during the time I don't have an alibi. To do that, I have to make it clear when the body ended up in the garden. The sprinkler system.
We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night and 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yep, and Makoto doesn't have an alibi for most of that time.
Yeah, from 10 o'clock to 7:30.
That's more than enough time to commit murder, I should think. So Makoto, if you have any objections, now would be the time.
Okay, there's something that happens in the garden at the same time every morning. Thinking back, the corpse was almost totally dry. Yeah, there was a tarp that was wet and muddy though. In which case I should be able to figure out when the body must have appeared in the garden.
We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 and...
No, that's wrong. Actually, the murder couldn't have happened anywhere near 10 o'clock. It had to have taken place way later.
And what makes you say that?
Because of the sprinklers in the garden. The sprinklers are set to go off right at 7:30 every morning, right? So if the body had been in the garden before 7:30, then it should have been completely soaked.
Oh, hold on. I remember this part perfectly. The body was wet. Dripping wet, in fact.
Yeah, but it was when they threw water on it after it exploded.
Sorry, Toko, but you're wrong.
I'm wrong? How? Are you saying only the mouth down south was wet? How dare you spew such indecent words?
Oh my god! Okay. That's a new one. I gotta remember that one actually. Oh my god.
No, I'm saying that the body was wet, but not because of the sprinklers.
What do you mean? By denying the sprinkler, are you trying to deny my entire existence?
Wow. Wee bit of a drama queen.
Man, you're totally wacko.
Yup.
If you really think it wasn't the sprinkler, you'd better tell us why!
I need to prove that it wasn't the sprinklers that got the body wet. All I have to do is hit Toko with certain evidence. That should do it. If we look at the body itself, that should make it clear. Not the rhythm game again, not the rhythm game again. Ah, I hate this rhythm game.
I admit nothing. I hate you. No, no, no! You don't know anything! Hold on! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. I hate you. No, no, no! You don't know anything! Hold on! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. I hate you. No, no, no!
Whew.
How can you say it wasn't the spring?
This should prove it. Just remember what the body was like after the explosion, and you'll see why it wasn't the sprinklers. The top half of the body was wet, yes, but the bottom half was completely dry.
Mm-hmm.
If the sprinklers got the body wet, shouldn't the whole body have been wet?
So they only got the top wet? The bottom was completely dry? What a brutal maniac!
To all you little perverts out there, it was just a bucket of water, I promise.
I'm so sick of her.
Let's just move on. The reason only the top half was wet was because... while the body was still on fire, I doused it with water. But only the part on fire, the top half.
Oh, then I guess the sprinklers really didn't do it.
Oh wow.
So if the sprinklers didn't get the body wet, then the murder must have taken place sometime after the sprinklers turned on at 7:30 in the morning.
Which means she must have been killed sometime between then and when the body was discovered at 9.
But Makoto's alibi was only missing from 10 o'clock last night to 7:30 this morning, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's no way Makoto could have done it. I guess you had an alibi after all. Good for you.
In which case, the only one left without an alibi is Kyoko.
Yeah, unfortunately. Kyoko's the only one without an alibi. Which would mean that Mukuro's killer is... No, I refuse to believe it. Kyoko murdered someone? That's...
I'd just like to say one thing. If you vote for me and I die here, the mystery of this school will stay hidden forever.
Ooh, that's one way to hit him.
Which is why I can't let that happen.
Huh?
So are you saying you're not the culprit?
Of course I'm not. I have no reason to kill anyone.
If you think about it, every time she disappears or something, she's quietly been trying to investigate stuff about the school. Killing someone now wouldn't really actually, like, benefit her in any way.
This is a trap the mastermind has laid for us.
A trap?
We're this far into the game, and now you decide to blame me?
Yep.
Stop wasting time! Stop wasting energy! You really think your little trick is gonna work?
Shut up, you!
You got it, boss! Shutting up now!
Oh wow.
Anyway, Kyoko, you actually did have a reason to kill her.
Why would that be?
Huh? She did?
She thought Mukuro was the ultimate despair. In other words, the mastermind behind everything. So she killed her to try and put a stop to all this. Isn't that right, Kyoko?
Not exactly.
But you made one catastrophic mistake. Mukuro wasn't the mastermind at all. And as a result, we were forced into another trial, something I'm sure you weren't at all expecting.
So, that was her motive?
I don't think so.
If she had a motive and no alibi, well then, I think it's pretty clear Kyoko's gotta be the culprit.
I'm not the only one without an alibi. Makoto's explanation is still insufficient.
Wow, why did they throw us under the bus like that?
Huh?
The sprinklers didn't get the body wet, but that doesn't mean the murder happened when he said it did.
What are you...
Because you see, there is a way the body could have avoided getting wet.
Interesting. I'm listening.
All it would take is covering the body with a certain something to keep it from getting wet.
A certain something at the scene was used to cover the body. Could it have been? The tarp.
I got it! You're talking about the tarp, aren't you?
You catch on quick. You're right. All you'd have to do is cover the body with the tarp, and that'd take care of the water. In fact, that's exactly what the killer did. The dirt pattern on the tarp can attest to that. Only one side of the tarp got dirty, because that's the side that got covered in water. The side that faced down over the body, meanwhile, kept perfectly clean. This proves that the killer used the tarp to keep the body from getting soaked.
But why would they go to all that effort just to keep the body from getting wet?
Most likely so they could cloud the issue of when the murder actually took place. In other words, to create an excuse exactly like the one Makoto just gave us.
Wow. Thank you for throwing me under the bus. Why would Kyoko say that? Why would she want to make me look like the killer? No, I can't think about that right now. That tarp. If it was used the way Kyoko said, the tarp must have touched the body, right? But the body...
Wait. Something's not right.
I actually kind of feel like they were maybe dead before everything. Like they were... everything was staged.
And what might that be?
I can't worry about Kyoko's motivations. If I don't do something, everyone's gonna think I'm the killer. I have to refute what Kyoko said.
By covering the body with the tarp, the killer prevented it from getting wet.
So the reason the tarp was only dirty on one side is because the sprinkler got that side wet.
But the underside of the tarp, it was totally spotless, right?
It's because that side was protected from the water. Since it was facing down toward the body, of course it didn't get dirty.
I remember the blood on the body hadn't dried yet. The archive even warned us not to touch it to avoid getting any blood on us.
By covering the body with the tarp, the killer prevented it from getting wet.
So the reason the tarp was only dirty on one side is because the sprinkler got that side wet.
But the underside of the tarp, it was totally spotless, right?
It's because that side was protected from the water. Since it was facing down toward the body,
Oops, wrong one.
of course it didn't get dirty.
No, that's wrong.
It was staged.
Actually, one side being clean is pretty strange if you think about it.
The whole thing was staged. I think they were already dead, maybe for a while already. Or not exact, I don't know, maybe not a while, but the blood was fresh because I feel like the chickens, there were two missing. I don't know, this is all just kind of weird.
Because the blood wasn't dry before the body got blown up, right?
And between 10 p.m. and when the body was found, even with the sprinklers, the blood should have been pretty dry already. Or at the very least a little bit coagulated.
Byakuya said it himself. Not to touch it, or you might get some on you. If you put a tarp on a body in that state, it absolutely would have gotten blood on it.
And it was perfectly clean.
Well, maybe the culprit washed it, so nobody would know they'd used it.
But why only wash one side?
If they had, they would have washed both sides. Just washing the one side wouldn't hide anything.
Oh, yeah, true.
More than that, what if the very blood we saw on the body was meant as a kind of camouflage?
The blood was camouflage?
What if, after the killer used the tarp to avoid the sprinklers, they then covered the body in blood that didn't belong to the victim?
I was right, the chickens!
You mean someone else's blood? Where would they get something like that?
I know! They could have grabbed some of the blood packs from the nurse's office.
No.
That's what Hifumi did, right? When he pretended to be dead?
No, that's not what happened this time. The killer got the blood from right there in the garden.
They grabbed the blood right there in the garden, right? Which must mean... chicken!
I got it!
Them chickies!
Could it have been chicken blood?
What? Chicken blood?
When I checked the chicken coop before the murder, there were 5 chickens. But after the murder, there were only 4.
Why do I keep thinking there were 2? Oh, it's because I like round numbers.
So, you're saying someone killed a chicken and then covered the body with its blood? Man, that's messed up.
Color-wise, there isn't much difference.
Killing a living thing just to do something like that is awful. They should have at least eaten it.
Oh, Hina, always thinking of their stomach.
I wonder if the killer had to get the blood from the scene so they wouldn't be spotted walking around.
Would make sense.
Anyway, there's no denying that a chicken went missing, which provides a basis for my theory.
Perhaps, but even so, there's one thing that still doesn't make sense. You said the culprit used the tarp to avoid the water and then covered the body in blood, right? But if that's the case, then the blood should have soaked into the ground around the body. But that's not what we saw. Only the victim's clothing had blood on it. The ground was completely clean.
I have to agree, that certainly is strange. Maybe they didn't apply the blood at the scene. Maybe they covered the coat in blood beforehand.
Would certainly make sense.
They covered it beforehand?
When you discovered the body, was it wearing the coat like you normally would?
No, it was just draped over it.
I think so.
No.
Wait, no. The head was through the neck hole, but the arms weren't in the sleeves.
Then that settles it.
Sorry, I'm having a tough time keeping up. What settles what?
Here's what happened. The murder took place before the sprinklers went off, but the body didn't get wet because the killer covered it with the tarp. Then, later, at the same time the killer was gathering up the tarp, they pulled the coat over the body, the coat they'd already covered in blood. This series of cover-ups was meant to disguise the actual time the murder occurred. They wanted us to think the murder happened sometime after the sprinklers had gone off, at 7:30.
If that's actually what took place, it certainly becomes possible that the murder happened earlier.
But to pull all that off, wouldn't they have had to go back to the garden after the sprinklers turned off?
That actually wouldn't have been all that difficult.
Okay, now I'm curious.
Huh?
They already had the coat ready, so they just had to grab the tarp and pull the coat over the body. They'd be done in no time.
Maybe, but still.
Hina, after you met up with Makoto in the dining hall, did you two stay together from that point on?
Oh no. I headed off to the gym, and Makoto didn't show up till later.
Oh no.
Then he had plenty of time to spare.
Oh
wouldn't you
no.
say?
That's not...
Don't bother saying it's not possible.
I must admit, Kyoko's reasoning is sound. Makoto's alibi is inadequate.
Wow. And the suspicion falls back on me again. But why? Why is Kyoko trying to entrap me? I don't understand. She already gave a reason. She's not the murderer, but she's not gonna go down for it. And considering how much of a pain in the ass Makoto has been to Monokuma, I almost get the feeling Monokuma would let this slide, even knowing who the real murderer might have been. Oh.
Well then, it looks like we're back to square one. Makoto's alibi is no good, so once again, our suspects are him and Kyoko.
For serious, man? Which one of them did it? Hey, why don't we let luck decide? Let's flip a coin. 50-50 odds.
Wow.
Oh!
See? Pretty good idea, right?
No.
No, not that. I just remembered something super serious.
Well, don't just stand there. Out with it.
You know that knife we found all black and burnt?
The one we found stuck in the body before it exploded, right? According to the Monokuma file, the knife went all the way through, from front to back.
And that was unfortunately the knife that Toko gave Makoto to keep safe with him.
So, what about it?
I'm pretty sure I'd seen that knife somewhere before. That's what I thought when I first saw it. I just remembered.
Listen, more important, now that we have the knife, what are we gonna do with it? We can't let Toko keep it, that's for sure. We don't know what she might do. I don't want it anyway. So what to do? Why don't you hang on to it, Makoto? Me?
It's the knife we gave to Makoto?
Oh no,
You don't
this is
seem
looking
surprised.
worse.
You must have noticed earlier.
Yeah.
Then why did you hide that fact?
Because it would make him look guilty, but hiding it also made it worse.
It's not that I hid it. It's just...
I couldn't be sure of what actually happened last night. I thought maybe I really did kill her.
Suspicious! Very
Oh, no.
suspicious indeed. The knife we found stuck in the body came from Makoto. Now I'm totally convinced he did it. 12,000% convinced.
Wow. Considering everything up till now, I should be able to make it clear. I have to prove that I didn't murder anyone. I'm not the killer.
The knife we found lodged in the dead body.
It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
It really is, isn't it? I was afraid of that.
If he did have that knife before, then that seals it. Makoto did it.
Whee!
Just because I had the knife once, that automatically makes me the killer?
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her, right? So there's no
No.
question. You took that knife of yours and killed her with it.
What a horrible man you are,
Wow.
Makoto.
We've already established that the coat was put on the body after the tarp was removed, which means when the knife was thrust through the coat into the body, the person was already
The
dead.
knife we found lodged in the dead body.
It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
It really is, isn't it? I was afraid of that.
If he did have that knife before, then that seals it. Makoto did it.
Just because I had the knife once, that automatically makes me the killer?
Well, getting stabbed is what killed.
No, that's wrong. Wait, hold on. The stab wound isn't what killed Mukuro.
No, it wasn't.
That should be clear from the description of the cover-up we just heard.
Lies! We never talked about what killed her!
No, don't you remember? The killer covered the dead body with the tarp, and then put the bloody coat on it, right? In other words, the victim never wore that blood-stained coat until after they were dead.
If you hear random noises, it's Brat Cat trying to get me to go to bed because it's almost 2. Well, technically it is 2 a.m. Okay. She's just gonna have to wait. I'm too interested in this shit.
Okay, fine. So what?
So, when we discovered the body, the knife had been thrust through the coat along with the body. Meaning, if she wasn't stabbed until the coat was put on, and she was already dead at that point, obviously the stab wound isn't what killed her.
Maybe you stabbed her twice. Once to kill her and once to cover it up.
Wouldn't the Monokuma file have mentioned 2 stabbings then, instead of 1? The victim was stabbed twice in the same spot? No, there's no way that's possible. The exact condition of the body was written down for everyone to see.
I got it! The Monokuma file clearly states that there was only 1 stab wound.
How did she die then? It doesn't make sense.
Oh yeah, it sure did. I totally forgot about that.
Then the knife...
Was just another piece of camouflage set up by the true killer. They probably stabbed her to draw attention away from what actually killed her.
But what actually killed her then?
Exploding the body afterward was probably meant to do the same thing. The explosion severely damaged the body, making it impossible to know what really killed her.
That's true.
It was all the killer's attempt to destroy all evidence of their crime.
So they wanted us to notice the stab wound and then detonated the body afterward. They meant for us to latch onto the knife as the cause of death, then destroy any evidence proving otherwise.
Oh, hey, I have a question. It kind of goes back to the beginning, but what's the deal with that explosion anyway? Why'd the body just blow up all of a sudden like that?
It was the bomb from Monokuma.
If you bothered to put that lump of gray matter between your ears to use, you'd know the answer.
Wow.
Well, if you're so smart, just tell me.
I'll tell you. I bet some unknown quantum particle caused an atomic level spontaneous combustion!
No.
I might be dumb, but even I'm not dumb enough to believe that.
Go ahead, Makoto. Tell her or we won't make any headway on this.
Oh my god. There's only one explanation I can think of for the explosion.
I got it! After the explosion, we found a tiny fragment of something on the ground near the body, right? That fragment reveals the cause of the explosion.
Huh? You know, I feel like I've seen something like it somewhere before.
That's only natural, because of course, we saw the same thing when we dismantled Monokuma. It's part of a bomb.
Oh! Then the explosion was because of the Monokuma bomb.
Anyway, the culprit's motive is becoming more and more obvious by the minute. They wanted the knife wound to look like the fatal injury so that we'd suspect Makoto, and the only one who would benefit from that is the only other possible suspect, you, Kyoko.
Hold on a second, Byakuya.
What's the problem?
Well, I just feel like we need to think this through. We still don't know what actually killed the victim.
He has a point because it wasn't the stab wound. And it wasn't the bomb. Unless they were maybe unconscious when they were already stabbed. It's kind of weird.
That's true. It's definitely bugging me. What really killed her?
Fine. I have no problem with that. Let us continue the debate. It won't change the facts of the case regardless.
We need to determine what ultimately killed the victim. I need to concentrate. She was wearing a mask, maybe not just to hide the identity, but maybe there was a head wound? But why wouldn't the Monokuma file talk about that? I feel like it might be that. There were no other
Then
visible
shall we
things.
continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill her for sure. I guess.
Well, yeah. She was already totally dead when that happened.
And it wasn't because of the knife, right? And then there's only one other thing.
Oh, yeah. According to the Monokuma file, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
That's also true. The knife was a cover-up and all those other wounds on her body weren't fresh, which only leaves.
Then shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill her for sure. I guess.
Well, yeah. She was already totally dead when that happened.
And it wasn't because of the knife, right? And then there's only one other thing.
Oh, yeah. According to the Monokuma file, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
God damn it, I missed it.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
Okay. Let's go.
Then shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet...
No, that's wrong. Mukuro died because of the blow to the back of the head she suffered.
What about the wounds all over the rest of her body? They didn't have anything to do with it?
Wait, didn't we find in the one area, like that old gym dojo kind of place, arrows that were bundled up and they were like titanium arrows? Ah, okay. Okay. Still doesn't explain who did it, but at least we now know how she died. Because I don't think anyone's gonna survive a blow like that.
The Monokuma file makes it clear that those weren't fresh wounds.
Except for maybe Sakura. She survived it.
Oh yeah, good point. If they were old, I guess they don't really matter.
Okay, then we're safe in assuming the blow to the back of her head is what killed her.
But then, what was the murder weapon? The Monokuma file says she was hit with a blunt object, about as thick as a metal pipe.
Oh, I bet it was the pickaxe!
How is that even possible? If you hit someone with that, it'd cave their skull in completely.
She's not wrong.
Well, maybe they held it the other way and hit her with the handle.
Then there would probably be wooden pieces lodged in her brain, or in her skull. And might have taken more than one blow.
No way! The balance would be all off. You wouldn't be able to swing it with any kind of power.
Again, she's not wrong.
I wouldn't mind testing it on you if you want.
Okay. Sassy.
No thanks. I bet you just hit me with the metal end and call it an accident.
That sounds probably impossible.
I'd love to scoop out that nasty brain of yours, throw it on the ground and spit on it.
Okay, calm down there, Sunshine.
I feel the same way. Looks like we're on the same page this time.
Oh boy.
Seriously?
We want to figure out what killed her, right? It just so happens we already know.
We already know? I knew we could count on you, Master.
That face, oh my god.
So what was it?
Go ahead and tell them, Makoto. Surely you've deduced the real murder weapon?
The real murder weapon was them bunch of freaking arrows. Because they were duct taped together.
I got it! Mukuro was hit in the back of the head with something. And that's what killed her. And that something was the titanium arrow we found in the locker in the dojo.
An arrow? That's what the culprit attacked Mukuro with?
Indeed. There's no doubt about it.
Are you sure? That sounds kinda weird.
Hey! How dare you backtalk, Master! You have no right!
I'm not backtalking anything. I'm just saying what I think.
I don't blame Hina for doubting it, because there's one more thing about that weapon. One more secret. The duct tape. It had to be duct taped together to make it an actual viable weapon.
The titanium arrow. It was in the dojo locker, right? I have no doubt that was the murder weapon.
Are you sure?
You don't sound convinced. What's the problem?
Well, because in the Monokuma file, it said the weapon must have been about as thick as a metal pipe, right? It seems like an arrow would just be too thin.
Talking back to Master! You have no right!
Oh my, she's getting fired up. At least Genocide Jack hasn't made an appearance yet. If it was just a titanium arrow, it wouldn't be nearly thick enough, which is why they used
The
bloody duct tape.
titanium arrow. It was in the dojo locker, right? I have no doubt that was the murder weapon.
Are you sure?
You don't sound convinced. What's the problem?
Well, because in the Monokuma file, it said the weapon must have been about as thick as a metal pipe, right? It seems like an arrow would just be...
No, that's wrong. You're right. Just the one arrow would have been too weak. That's why the killer used another weapon.
Another weapon?
Inside the dojo locker, we also found a balled up wad of duct tape. The killer probably used this duct tape to bind multiple arrows together. Bundling them together using the duct tape would easily create a single weapon as thick as a pipe.
Exactly.
And that's exactly what the killer did.
It's similar to Aesop's fable about the bundle of sticks. One stick is weak, but put them together, and they become strong. It's meant to teach cooperation.
For once, even something I knew.
Damn, that's harsh.
How is it harsh? Are you even listening?
Anyway, that explains the murder weapon. As for who the culprit is that stashed the weapon in the dojo locker, it was you, Kyoko.
I've never been to the dojo.
Oh no, you absolutely have.
How can you say that with such confidence?
Because we have proof, of course. Don't we, Makoto?
We found the dojo locker key in her room.
What's the matter? Surely you don't intend to protect a murderer. You know what will happen if you do, don't you? If you cover for the culprit, there's only one thing that can lead to. The death of us all, remember?
Of course I remember.
Then show us. Show everyone the evidence that proves Kyoko went to the dojo.
I have evidence? Evidence that Kyoko went to the dojo. It must be connected to the dojo locker.
I got it! The one thing that proves Kyoko was in the dojo is... right here. The key to the dojo locker.
And how does that prove anything?
Because I found it in your room.
It was in my room?
In fact, even she sounds surprised about it. That kinda niggles me a little bit.
Don't bother trying to play dumb. That key is just the final piece of the puzzle. Your non-existent alibi, your clear motive, your attempts to frame Makoto for the crime. This all proves that you are the true culprit. You can't explain this away, so just give up.
Hold on a second.
Not this again. You really are dead set on defending her, aren't you?
No, it's not that I want to defend her. It's just, there's one more thing I need to ask her. Kyoko, I want you to tell me something. Last night, you were in my room, weren't you? Why? What were you doing there? That's what I need to know.
I was just protecting you.
So he was gonna get killed and she chased off the killer but didn't kill the killer.
What?
Interesting. He was protecting me? Then does that mean she fought off the other person? She knew I was being attacked. And she came to my rescue. Could that be when? Which would mean that Kyoko, she killed someone for me?
That's enough. The time for idle chatter is over. A verdict is close at hand.
Wait. I'm warning you. Don't make this mistake. I'm not the killer.
I knew you were stubborn, but this is just getting ridiculous.
Really? But you should know better than anyone I didn't do it. Can you tell me I'm wrong?
I should know?
What? Ryoko should know better than anyone? What does that mean? He had her room key.
Those words you just spoke. What do you mean?
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never hide something from me!
There's proof that you aren't the culprit. Is that what you're saying?
You stated a theory earlier. You said I hid the evidence of my crime in the dojo locker, and then left the locker key in my own room, correct? But could I really have done that?
Wait, Kyoko gave her room key to Byakuya, right? So how could the dojo key have gotten in her room if she didn't have access to it? Even with Monokuma's stuff, he would have then picked up on her being somewhere. And he said specifically he had no idea where she was. Which would mean...
Those words you just spoke. What do you mean?
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never hide something from me!
There's proof that you aren't the culprit. Is that what you're saying?
You stated a theory earlier. You said I hid the evidence of my crime in the dojo locker, and then left the locker key in my own room, correct? But could I really have done that?
She couldn't.
Those words you just spoke. What do you mean?
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer.
I'm just shooting these things for fun now.
You should understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never hide something from me!
There's proof that you aren't the culprit.
No, that's wrong! If I'm right, Kyoko wouldn't have been able to get into her room.
Huh? Why not?
Because she had given her room key to Byakuya.
I see. So that's what you meant. And if I had the key to your room...
Then obviously I had no way of getting in.
So she's not the culprit either.
Without my room key, I couldn't have possibly put the locker key in there myself. Am I wrong?
It would appear not.
Then you're finally starting to understand.
No, that's not actually true. There was a clear contradiction in what Kyoko just told us. An obvious lie. This just isn't like her. To try and save herself was such a desperate lie. She has a reason. Does she really feel that threatened? Because she's the killer? No, there's something else going on. Why would she hide the evidence in her own room in the first place? She's a very methodical and logical person, she wouldn't put it there. Or is it something else? Was there some deeper meaning hidden in what Kyoko said earlier? If you vote for me and I die here, the mystery of the school will stay hidden forever. Which is why I can't let that happen. This is a trap the Mastermind has laid for us. The Mastermind's trap. The Mastermind is trying to trap Kyoko, but What if that's not really true? What can I do? What should I do? What should I? Ah, God, the mastermind's trap. I think I know where this is going. Since all of the others have alibis, I could either take the fall for Kyoko and get murdered, or I give her up and I don't know what happens after that. Because I feel like she's one of the top characters in this thing, and I feel like that could work out bad if I take that route. The victim was Mukuro and Kyoko killed her. What does Kyoko really know? What am I supposed to do? Kyoko's lie. I'm the only one who knows it's a lie. I'm the only one who can expose it. But who can I trust? What am I supposed to do? The mastermind's trap. If you spend all your time trying to avoid danger, you'll never move forward. We know the danger, but if that risk means solving the mystery, we have no choice. Am I wrong? What do I do? I have to decide right here and now whether or not to expose Kyoko's lie. I'm gonna let it go and see what happens. I've made my decision. I have to believe in Kyoko. There's no way she would kill someone. There has to be some secret here, something that has to do with the mastermind's trap that Kyoko mentioned.
Well, does no one have a rebuttal? Have you decided to accept her assertion as fact? I see. So you still refuse to accept it. I suppose we have to admit that Kyoko didn't put the locker key in her room, that it was someone else.
But who else could it have been?
I mean, Byakuya had a room key, right?
You! What are you trying to imply?
But of course I have an alibi. From nighttime on, I was with you guys the entire time.
He has a solid alibi.
I couldn't possibly have killed anyone, or put the key in Kyoko's room.
And things are still up in the air about Makoto's alibi.
Well, someone had to put the key in there.
There's only one other possibility I can think of. Someone could have had the key on them, then once they arrived at the scene, pretended to find it there.
What? It had to be Makoto, right?
I don't see any other option.
Wait a second. You've got it all wrong. Let's think about it one more time. There's gotta be a hidden side to this case.
Huh? A hidden side?
First of all, there's something off about this entire trial. You all see it, don't you?
Oh, first time Monokuma makes an appearance in a little while and it's all silence.
Mukuro, who we didn't even know existed, suddenly shows up dead. And then we're thrown into a trial. And Kyoko even said, it's a trap the mastermind set for us. So that's why this has to be...
Okay, time's up!
First time he interferes, and I wonder why.
Huh?
Time's up! Class trial's all over! Everyone can stop talking now!
Getting too close to the truth, methinks?
What? Time's up?
What do you mean time's up? There's no time's up. Since when have we...
It's because you were late, so we had to push back the start time.
That's mighty convenient.
So then, it's time for voting time, okay? Everyone, please vote using the lever in front of you!
Voting time?
Thank you.
Now, who will be chosen as the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one?
This is all fishy.
Hey, hold on!
What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
I don't know, something is going on here. The game won't just end it here. What? You think I'm the killer? Sorry, man.
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. It's all your fault. Everyone, you're wrong. You've got it all wrong. I didn't do it.
Yes, indeed.
Good job, everyone. And I bet you Monokuma knows who the actual murderer is. And he's letting this go because Makoto is getting way too close to the truth. And he just essentially saved Kyoko's life. And there's nothing he can do to put her in the spotlight. Unless we had given her up. Good job!
Yep.
Yeah, they got it right. No, I know that's not true. None of this makes any sense. This whole trial doesn't make any sense. He's not wrong.
Hey!
It makes perfect sense!
Shing!
It's the same as always. It's just like all the other class trials, and I'm gonna end it the same way.
Thrills, chills, kills!
It's time for your heart-pounding, positively thrilling punishment. Wait, why do I? Oh, she looks pissed. That's the first time I see that expression. Kyoko?
I don't expect you to forgive me. I
I
know
know.
this is all my fault.
Oh. Kyoko?
Let's give it everything we've got! It's punishment time!
Interesting. Damn. Oh, damn. That looks ouch. Not gonna lie. Oh great, he's giving him sex ed while he's freaking dying. Wow. Okay. Not the best time for this subject, Monokuma. Oh my god, alter ego! You beautiful little bastard! And we survived. All depends on where we're landing, I guess. Ooh boy. What's this? What's going on? Hey, was that? Yeah, it had to be.
This
Alter
is...
ego? Alter ego? Some stupid virus from that stupid guy? He must have planted it when he invaded my network. Damn it all to hell, I don't believe this.
It would seem...
It seems you finally made a miscalculation. No, you miscalculated from the very beginning.
What the heck?
What was that?
In other words,
What I'm saying is you shouldn't have underestimated us. Why are you talking like you've already won? I barely felt a thing. It was a pinch, an itch. The stupid virus is gone now. Got it, and so is Makoto. Maybe I didn't get to smash him flat, but you're never gonna see him again. To waste away in a garbage-strewn pit. In a way, that's even better special punishment. I feel like she knows this place better than he knows. But it's still not enough. I'm still not satisfied. I'm still gonna bring despair to the rest of you. Bring despair to the entire world. You little weirdo. Is he gone? Hey, Kyoko, what's the meaning of all this? Just what the hell is going on?
calm down.
It's okay, we're not the ones being trapped this time.
In other words,
Now it's the mastermind that's ensnared.
What did you say?
What are you talking about?
so...
You'll understand soon enough. Very soon indeed. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay. The massive high school towers over all the other buildings in this bustling urban area. It's like the school stands at the center of the entire world. This is from the beginning. Hope's Peak Academy. It brings in top students from every field imaginable. Government-funded school of privilege. They say that if you come here and manage to graduate, you'll be set for life. With hundreds of years of tradition, it sends the cream of the crop into the workforce every year. It was built to raise hope in the nation's future, which makes Hope's Peak a pretty fitting name. There are two things you need to attend this school. 1, you have to already be attending high school. 2, you have to be the very best at what you do. No ordinary student could enroll here. The only way in is if you're scouted by the school itself. And standing there at the gate of the ultimate God damn it. And standing there at the gate of the ultimate school filled with the ultimate students was me. Bop, bop, bop. Did we somehow start the game all over again? Is that what happened? What? Where am I? I woke up with my head resting on top of a hard wooden desk. My body felt heavy. It wouldn't be weird for me to zonk off in the middle of some boring class or whatever, but what was I doing asleep here just now? It wasn't any classroom I'd ever been in before. What the heck is going on? Okay, there we go. For a second I was like, huh? Finally. I could finally feel my mind and body start to come back together again. And then I was awake. Or was it just another dream? A dream inside a hopeless nightmare. No, this isn't a dream. I could tell because the stench was invading my nostrils was too powerful for a dream. Wow. What an awful smell. I was in a vast dark cavern with the barest hint of light seeping in. Trash was piled high all across the area. This must be some kind of underground garbage pit. A heck of a situation to find myself in. But that was just the beginning of my problems. Was I going to be stuck in there till I wasted away and died? No, I can't let that happen. Not after what my good friend went through to save me. I remembered all too well what happened. Alter Ego saved me, and he used up the last little bit of his strength to do it. So I can't give up now. For myself and for my friend. And with that, my pursuit of survival began. First up was to start looking for a way out of there. Okay. I don't know how much more is left of the game, and I don't want to push it, so because the class trial is over and this is basically just like a next step into something, I'm gonna cut off here. But honestly, that was one hell of a weird class trial, and even the investigation. And the fact that Monokuma knew who the real murderer was, but was more than happy to take Makoto as a scapegoat. Because Kyoko was essentially saved out of the situation. Anyway. Thank you everyone for watching. I really do appreciate it. If someone can find some entertainment in the weird things I say or do in the games I play, then I'm happy. It makes me happy. If you can smile and laugh a little bit, that helps too. And like I said before, this is just me having fun with everyone. I don't mind what happens or anything else. It's just here for some fun times. But please take care of yourselves with everything.